Don't worry about nothing, no.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B kid. Now back again with another video for y'all. How y'all doing? We're doing very well. Welcome to episode 19 of The Drop. For those of you who are new to my channel, The Drop is a series I do on my channel where I pretty much do a mukbang for y'all while I talk about current news and the entertainment industry, and I talk about, you know, like shows and movies I'm watching, and also like a bunch of albums that I've dropped recently. I do like a review roundup for a bunch of albums that I've dropped recently that I want to talk about that I haven't dedicated a whole video to. So let's get into it. Like I said, this is episode 19, and for today's meal for this drop, I have a plate from Sweet Green, which is like a salad, vegan, healthy eating type place that I really like. Today I got the hot honey chicken bowl, so it's like blackened chicken, roasted sweet potatoes, a cabbage and coleslaw with quinoa, if you can see all that. I don't know if you can see in the camera there, quinoa. And I got some toppings that include almonds and a bunch of dressings. I have like a spicy cashew dressing and hot honey chicken dressing as well. So I think that's everything, and I got some apples as well in it too. So yeah, a lot of really good shit that I'm about to eat up today. I'm excited. I'm hungry as hell. I've been working all day and I'm hungry as hell, so let's get into this video. I don't even know where to start, y'all, because there's been so much going on in the world and in music and entertainment, and there's just my brain is hurting from all the stuff that's going on in the world. But let's just try and, you know, go through one thing at a time. So first things first, I want to give my rest in peace to the man, the legend, the icon, Chucky Thompson. Man, for those of y'all who are up on music, y'all probably know who he is, but for those of y'all who don't know, Chucky Thompson is a man behind some of the greatest, you know, songs and just albums from the 90s and 2000s in R&B and a little bit hip-hop too. But man, Chucky Thompson has worked with damn near everybody in the urban space and music industry from like that generation of the 90s, 2000s. You know, when it comes to like, you know, we talk about, you know, Mary J. Blige and the My Life album, Faith Evans' albums, and just, you know, his work with Diddy and Bad Boy and being a part of the Hitman production crew, which, you know, that enough said. And, you know, so Chucky Thompson, literally one of the best to ever do this R&B production game. He's one of the best producers of all time. Passed away recently, allegedly from COVID-19, but that's just alleged. But it doesn't really matter. Rest in peace to him. Condolences to his family and to his friends and everybody that knew and loved him. Such a talented man that was really taken from us way too soon. I was really saddened when I heard that news, because I remember just seeing him on the Mary J. Blige My Life documentary. He looked like he was healthy and happy. So it's just like, man, like we keep getting reminders all the time, but we really do gotta enjoy life, you know, soak up life, live life, and just enjoy every day that you have, because you never know when your time is up. And for someone like Chucky Thompson, who, like I said, he was happy, healthy, you know, young, vibrant, and just he contributed so much to the musical world. It's just like, damn, like that was a real blow to me. As someone who I read credits from, like, you know, from the time I was a kid, I know credits, like I know music. Chucky Thompson was the man behind so many songs and albums that we all love from the 90s and 2000s, even beyond that. Like, y'all don't understand how important Chucky Thompson was to an entire generation of music. So rest in peace to him, and you know, condolences, like I said, to his family and friends. We love you, and yeah, man, rest in power, rest in peace, King. We love you. Let me move on to the rest of this video. Like I said, there's so many topics to go through, but I'm gonna try and run through everything as quickly as I can. The first thing I guess I'll talk about is, obviously, we're gonna talk about DaBaby. I really am annoyed and frustrated that this has become such a thing, because DaBaby is a grown-ass man. He's like, what, in his late 20s? This is the almonds. He's a grown-ass man in his late 20s. And I understand that, you know, he comes from a certain part of the, you know, the world, you know, from the hood, and a certain part of society that's not as open to, you know, the LGBTQ community in terms of, like, you know, just, I get it. But at the same time, it's like DaBaby. For any of y'all living under a rock, you know, DaBaby went up on the Rolling Loud Festival stage and said, you know, one time for all my women who pussy smell like water, and then one time for all of y'all who don't got HIV and AIDS, and that'll make you die, you know, in 2-3 weeks, and one time for all the dudes out here who ain't sucking dick in a parking lot. And y'all already heard it. Y'all, it's old news at this point. I'm late to the game, but I just want to talk about, you know, give y'all my thoughts on it. I'm really disappointed in DaBaby, because this is something I really messed with. I really love what he was doing. I think as of 2021, his music has been very his music has been flopping. Like as of 2021, his music, even before all this stuff happened, I already wasn't feeling it because like him and these like 16th, 17th century flute ass beats, I was over it. I feel like he could give us the same song over and over again. DaBaby has been giving us the same song over and over again for like the past year. But in 2019, 2020, he was killing the game. So I was really excited for his, for his career and his future as one of the mainstream rappers of our time right now. And my thing is like with DaBaby, I don't know, like you can clearly see from the moves that DaBaby was making these past years, linking up with pop artists like Dua Lipa and Camila Cabello, and just linking up with pop artists, getting #1 songs, like trying to be on every stage possible. You could see that he was obviously trying to be a rapper, that he wants to be one of the biggest rappers of his time. Like you could tell that he was trying to achieve that, and he was well on his way to doing that. So it's like, bro, if you at your big age are trying to obviously proactively be one of the biggest rappers of your time and one of the biggest rappers in the game right now, pop audience. He said in Dua Lipa song, pop star. Dua Lipa with DaBaby, pop star. And he was trying to be a pop star. If you were trying to be a mainstream rapper / a pop star in this game right now, how the hell do you think you can achieve that by alienating and isolating and disrespecting a big portion of your fan base, which is the LGBT community, LGBTQ community? IA plus, whatever. Like, I stand with the LGBTQ community. I stand with all of the members of the community who are just trying to just exist and live their best lives and just trying to enjoy life, and have to deal with bullshit like this on a constant, on a daily. Like DaBaby, for you to spread your ignorance with the platform that you have is so disappointing, because you were literally on a rocket ship to being one of the top rappers in the game for probably the next like 5 to 10 years, possibly, if you had done the right things. You were on your way to being one of the top rappers of this decade. I don't even know if that's gonna happen now, and I don't even really care if it happens, because you showing your characters and you showing your true colors. When you first made those comments at the Rolling Loud Festival, it was one thing to have that ignorant stance at first. People gave you the chance to apologize, and they were trying to correct you when it first happened. Your fans, people who love you, your peers, all gave you the chance to come correct and say, yo, bro, this wasn't right. This is how you're supposed to, this wasn't right, and this is why you're wrong, and this we're gonna break it down for you. People educated him. And people talking about, he needs education, he needs love, we need to wrap our hands around him and bring up our brother. But it's like, nah, the LGBTQ community, I get it. We're like, they are done. Like, it's 2021. This is not the 80s, this is not the 90s, this is not the 2000s. We are done with this ignorance that we continue to spread especially within the black community. We're done with it. Like, as a society, we all need to be done with this ignorance that we spread. It's okay to not, to have your opinions on certain things. Like, if you don't really like gay people, or if you don't really like black people, if you don't like short people, if you don't like blonde women, whatever it is that you don't, if you have a preference or if you have an opinion on something, that it's fine. You can keep it to yourself. But there's a line between having an opinion on something or having a preference towards something or certain people and just simply being disrespectful. And DaBaby, you cross that line OD at your big age. It don't make no goddamn sense. Like, what will make you think it's okay to go up on stage and say, yo, to all my people who ain't sucking dick? And why is so specific as sucking dick in a parking lot? Like, why was that on your mind, DaBaby? Why was that on your mind when you're in the middle of performing at a big ass festival? Why is that on your mind? What happened to the good old days when our bitches, used to say, hey, oh, if you healthy and alive, raise your hand. If you got $50 in your pocket, raise your hand. Like, what happened to those days when shit was simple like that? Yo, fella, ladies, how y'all doing? Fellas, y'all alright? Like, what happened to those good old days when that was what you did to, have, crowd participation and crowd engagement? DaBaby, you are a grown-ass man. I'll say it time and time again. I don't care if you don't like gay people. I don't care if you feel this type of way. But for you, with your platform and with your opportunity in terms of the career that you've established for yourself, why would you fumble the bag like this to disrespect a big part of your fan base? DaBaby, you don't know who the hell was in the audience who might have had HIV, whether they were born with it or whether they got it through heterosexual sex or even homosexual sex that they didn't plan to. They just it just happened, or or they got it through intravenous drug use and needle sharing. Like, you don't know. There's so many ways that people can contract HIV, whether knowingly or unknowingly, or be born with it, to the point where how can you discriminate against people who have HIV when if you were educated, if you were smart enough, you would know that there's so many different ways of transmission, to the point where it's not a gay disease. There are so many straight men and straight women walking around with HIV. There's so many people walking around with HIV who are born with it. Why the hell would you think that's a reason to like throw shade at people who have HIV? There could have been somebody there who had HIV who would just try to mind their business and just wanted to come support you because they love you, DaBaby, as a rapper, and that's what you're going to do to them while you're performing. Like, bro, what did gay people or what did people have HIV, what did they do to you? I think there's more to the story. I think there's something DaBaby is not disclosed to us. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go there, but like, DaBaby, your call to action at the bowling alley was really specific and hella unnecessary. And it's just like, my thing with DaBaby is, like I said, you're obviously in the market, you're obviously in the business of trying to become the biggest rapper possible. What makes you think you can do that by alienating the LGBTQ community, which is, as the days, months, years go by, it's only increasing in our society. Everywhere you walk, gay, bi, trans people, they run the world. They make the world go round at this point. What makes you think you can become one of the biggest rappers in the world by alienating that part of your fan base? And then in the first apology he gave, he was talking about, oh, you know, y'all are dumb. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. It wasn't for y'all. All my game fans and audience, you know what they did? They put that light up because they not no nasty gays. Like, DaBaby, you sound so ignorant. What are you talking about? Oh, I don't know about all the gay people, but my gay fans, they don't suck dick in the parking lot. They go to nice hotels and they go to the crib with it. Why do you care about how people are sucking dicks? Why is it your business about what your fans are doing in their bedrooms or in their sexual lives? Why does it matter to you? Go on stage, perform your hits, and get the fuck off. At your big age, Jonathan Kirk. How can you be one of the biggest rappers in the game, have the world in your hands, and decide to do some dumb shit like that and fumble your entire bag? To the point where the first time you are called to apologize like a grown-ass man, you fuck it up. And the people gave you the opportunity to say, yo, bro, do this right. You know, I don't even want a Notes iOS apology. Like, I don't want that. The first apology, I was glad that he did it, you know, camera, you know, see my face, hear my words. But you fucked it up, bro. Talking about, like, all the stuff he said in the first apology in that video was so stupid. Painting the, you know, having the camera in and out. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And then when your publicist, I don't know where they were at from the beginning, when your publicist finally tries to, you know, give like an actual written apology, it still was whack. Because you still made yourself seem like a victim, talking about, oh, you know, social media moves too fast, and you know, they don't give you a chance to like explain yourself, and I need to be educated, I need to learn, I'm trying to do better, but I'm sorry for like what I said. It's like, bro, honestly, bro, at this point it's too late. I don't really know if DaBaby will like, you know, bounce back from this, or if he's really done. Because my energy towards him is I don't really feel away, because at the end of the day I see there being a big chance of him bouncing back completely, like the same way we've seen Tory Lanez bounce back in 2020. Tory Lanez had one of the biggest falls from grace I've ever seen last year, and he's definitely flopping musically, but he's still out here trying to do his thing. And some people are, you know, opening, you know, accepting the open arms, and that's fine. And I see the same thing happen for DaBaby possibly. But I also do see him being fully canceled. And while I would feel bad, because I don't think he really meant to, I don't generally think he meant to like offend people, but I think where he fucked up was when it was made apparent to him that he offended people, he acted like he didn't care, and he doubled down on it. That's where he messed up. I don't think this thing would have been as big if from the jump DaBaby had just been like, you know what, my fault, y'all. I was wrong. I was just talking my shit on stage and went too out of hand. My fault. If you had just done that shit from the jump, it would have been one thing. But for you to double down, and when people give you a chance to apologize, still be on some, oh, I don't care, y'all got me, y'all got my words twisted, y'all got my thoughts twisted. Like, no, we didn't get nothing twisted, DaBaby. We caught you, or the cameras caught you in a festival that's being live streamed around the world. Like, Rolling Loud was not a private event. It was being live streamed around the world, so everyone saw that shit. He's talking about, oh, if you weren't there, like, it's not for you. It's like, but bro, that the concert was being live streamed, so what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unfortunate that he had to double down when he actually was being given a chance to actually make things correct. It's just sad, you know? And my thing with DaBaby is, I think this is complete karma for you trying to support and bring out Tory Lanez to the festival after you just collaborate on a song with him. And this is someone who allegedly has abused and shot, allegedly, one of the women and just people in the industry who you have a notable track record with in terms of making hits and just creating moments in this music thing. You and Megan Thee Stallion already have 2 big hits together, and y'all could have been making more hits together. And even I think actually 3 hits if you include the song on the DJ Khaled album. Y'all have 3 big hits together. Like, why would you fuck up that bag that's being certified to go link up with Tory Lanez, who 1 is not charting right now at all, and 2, even if he was charting, why would you mess up that? Like, I already said before in the previous video, if DaBaby had no control over the release of the song that he did with Tory Lanez because they recorded it before the Megan Thee Stallion incident happened, then that's fine. But my thing is, why? It's one thing to be on a song that you have no control over. That's one thing. But to actively support Tory Lanez, bring him out to the festival, show that y'all homies. Why can't you just do that shit behind closed doors? If you want to be friends with Tory Lanez, be friends with him behind closed doors, and don't come out here and antagonize Megan Thee Stallion and belittle her, both of y'all together on the Rolling Loud stage, and make it clear that you don't really care about this woman who you have broken bread with. You have broken bread with Megan Thee Stallion, hits on hits on hits, and you fucked that up. You fucked up that relationship to go and mess with her alleged abuser, who has still not been given his day in court yet, which I know I can admit is a little bit shady. I don't know why the trial is still pending at this point, but until he's proven innocent, why would you come out and carry on and just be out with him like, oh, guess who on stage, and bring him out in a bear costume, and then he reveals his face? Like, why are you doing that, DaBaby? Why would you, and why at y'all big age y'all trying to antagonize Megan? I don't care what's going on behind the scenes. I don't care if you think Megan is lying, or I don't care what your feelings are. Just as a role model for the kids who are looking up to you and for the kids who are watching you, why would you make these type of moves? It just makes no sense. DaBaby, you need to get it all the way together. I'm so disappointed in you. And for the fact that you worry about antagonizing Megan and supporting Tory, and you worry about disrespecting gay, bi, trans people on the Rolling Loud stage, and even doubling down on that after people called you out. You worry about doing all of that when you got a whole baby on the way with fucking Danny Lay, who you guys not even claimed yet. That's the crazy part to me. It's like, DaBaby, you have a whole child on the way that at this point I don't even know if you are planning on claiming and taking care of, and you should worry about that, and you worrying about Tory Lanez and Megan and gay people. DaBaby, you have a whole child on the way that you're not even claimed yet. You need to worry about that, my guy. Bro, you need to worry about that. You need to worry about your children that you probably not even taking care of as much as you should, because you're out here, running around on tour and shit, which I understand, but come on. Like, DaBaby, that's you worry about all this other shit when you got a whole baby in the way that you, with the woman who you're obviously not seeing anymore, that has to come out here like a single mom, because you really not claiming that baby. You ain't doing nothing. Like, let's be real. DaBaby not even claiming that baby like that. We ain't seen one post from him. We ain't seen one thing that said, yo, even though me and Danny ain't together, that's fine. I still got an angel on the way coming through. I can't wait to meet my child. Like, no acknowledgement of his upcoming child. We ain't seen no acknowledgement of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. And then freaking Tory Lanez, like, bro. Tory, you know what, man? These straight black rappers, y'all need to get it together, bro. Y'all are making all of us black men look bad out here, bro. It's really getting ridiculous at this point. And then T.I. wanted to come out and support DaBaby and say, and then Nick Cannon too, bro. Nick Cannon got to worry about his babies too. But then T.I. want to come out here talking about, oh, if Lil Nas X can kick his shit in peace, why can't DaBaby? T.I. Oh yeah, I still got some green tea with the meal that y'all saw in the thumbnail, but I'm letting it cool off in the freezer because it's kind of warm, so I'm letting it cool in the freezer. But T.I., like, you that false equivalence is ridiculous. For you to be as smart as you claim you are and to always come out here acting like you are Mr. Brainiac, how can you put that false equivalence in the air like that? Lil Nas X existing as a gay boy is not the same as DaBaby having the privilege and the opportunity to disrespect gay people anytime he wants to. That's not the same thing. How like T.I., Lil Nas X simply being gay and existing as a gay boy and a gay man and expressing his sexuality, without offending or disrespecting people is not the same thing as DaBaby opening up his mouth to disrespect and condemn gay men or people that have HIV and AIDS. It's not the same thing. For you to equate that is so stupid. At your big age, you talking about, oh, I don't want my kids seeing all that stuff. Your kids are not like, bro. Your kids are exposed to way more than you probably think they have been. T.I., I think you know that. So stop playing games. And T.I., if we're talking about people that also have other things to worry about, T.I., you have a whole case that you need to worry about right now. You have a whole sexual consent case that you need to be worrying about right now, and you want to drop your little 2 cents into this whole DaBaby saga. T.I., if anybody should be shutting the fuck up right now and minding their business and keeping themselves out of the media right now and not doing their best to offend people, it should be you, T.I. T.I., another person who I'm sad about because I look up to T.I. I don't look up to him, but I'm a fan of T.I. I look at T.I. as a legend and an icon of the game. You know, to me, you know, T.I. he's a father figure in the game, and he's a legend. So for him, even with all the problematic stuff he's been through and that he's done recently, like, I still look at T.I. as a king in the game for what he, you know, for his run and for his talent and for the influence he's had. But it's like, T.I., you were just like, as the years go on, it's just one thing to the next with you. Like, T.I., this is the time we should be shutting the fuck up and not saying anything. You want to try, and it just don't make no sense, bro. It don't make no sense. Like, T.I., really? This is the time where you want to open up your mouth and interject? When you have a whole case pending right now that's not even been solved and finalized? T.I., you got other shit to worry about. We still ain't forgot about you being a fucking weirdo checking your daughter's hymens. We ain't forgot about that, T.I. We ain't forgot about that. We ain't forgot about this case. You and Tiny got looming over your heads, and you worry about defending DaBaby, talking about he should have the right to kick his shit in peace. So he should have the right to offend and disrespect gay people if that's how he feels. If that's how DaBaby feels, then he can keep that to himself. But if he opens up his mouth and says what he feels, freedom of speech does not mean you can say whatever you want and people won't have shit to say. Freedom of speech means you can say whatever you want, but you have to deal with the repercussions and the consequences of whatever you decide to say out your mouth. T.I. and DaBaby, what's wrong with y'all? Like, y'all are grown-ass men with kids, families, careers that are iconic. Like, what are y'all doing? This is so crazy, man. So that's I know that was a long-ass rant, but I had to, like, you know, I just have to get my shit off. DaBaby and T.I. and Tory Lanez, I'm so disappointed in all y'all, and Nick Cannon too, and all of the rappers who are, like, defending DaBaby. My thing with DaBaby is I'm not gonna say, oh, DaBaby should be canceled, because cancellation culture is toxic and it's not really real. It's not a real thing, because some people have been canceled before, quote unquote, and they're doing just fine now. So cancel culture is not a real thing, but. And also, we can say, you know, we just need to educate DaBaby, and that's fine. But DaBaby's shown his true colors that he does not want to be educated, because when people gave him the chance to be educated, he didn't take it. He doubled down and decided to, put his foot down on his own ignorance and on his own flagrant disrespect. So I think DaBaby already showed that he doesn't really give a fuck about really trying to learn anything. It's only when the bag got fumbled and when festival after festival after festival after festival after festival canceled on him, that's when he wanted to get right and say, yo, okay, honestly, let me give a real apology. But before festivals started pulling you, DaBaby, you didn't give a fuck about giving a real apology. So that shows your true colors, bro. So for anybody who's like, oh, we need to defend DaBaby, no. I don't want bad things for anybody in life, because we're all human, we all make mistakes, but it's like, it's one thing to make a mistake and to learn from it at the beginning and to come right from the jump. And it's one thing to make a mistake and to double down on it and to be a dickhead about it time and time again. And that's what DaBaby did. So when you just have to go that route, you got to do the consequences. Point blank in the period. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, y'all. It's really sad. So yeah, man, DaBaby, you showed your true colors. You didn't give a fuck about what's happening to you until the festival started pulling your name from these concert lineups. It's just... And it's like, it's sad that that's what it took for you to really get the message, but it shows your true colors, bro. It shows your true colors. What can I say? All right, man, let's get into this meal. Let's get to the rest of my topics real quick. That was a rant. I didn't mean to go that long, but shit. Let me know what y'all think about this whole DaBaby situation. Let me know what your thoughts are on what he said at the festival, about his apologies since then. Like, you know, the festival's dropping him. Let me know what y'all think about all that shit. He got dropped from all these festivals, and deservedly so. So yeah, man, next topic. Let me talk about T-Pain real quick. Shout out to T-Pain. I just want to talk about T-Pain real quick because T-Pain has been doing his thing lately in the media. First off, we had the whole incident with him realizing that he didn't really know what IG messages were. Apparently he had been, ignoring a bunch of DMs from a bunch of, celebrity friends all these years, which I think is hilarious. Shout out to T-Pain. He thought the whole industry didn't fuck with him, not knowing damn well everybody was in his DMs, but he wasn't answering shit. Honestly, I can relate to T-Pain because I'm not a big, people, all my friends know I'm not a big social media person. I'm only on social media because everybody else is, but if social media was gone tomorrow, I would not care. I would be happy with it. No lies. So T-Pain, I feel you, bro. But yeah, so that was hilarious. T-Pain didn't know the whole world was on IG. That was the hot honey. Let me also put some of this spicy cashew as well. This is good. All right, let's go. I'm about to mix it up too. But also I want to talk about T-Pain because of the story that happened with him and Usher. Talking about, I've been watching the show This Is Pop on Netflix. Really good show about a bunch of some of the biggest trends and history moments in music and pop music. It's really cool show. I definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it on Netflix. Definitely go watch it. But yeah, I think on one of the first episodes or the second episode, it was an episode about autotune, and T-Pain was the biggest focus of the episode, which is really interesting. Because even though he didn't invent autotune, everybody associates autotune with T-Pain. And y'all all saw the interview clip where he talked about how he was on a plane, back in 2013 on his way to the BET Awards, and then Usher was on the same flight, and Usher, called him out of his sleep, mind you, out of a whole nap. Usher, how dare you? out of his sleep to talk about the fact that he thinks that T-Pain ruined music. Which is so crazy because, oh, that sauce is good. Which is crazy because, T-Pain, if you know T-Pain, you know that man can sing. And you know that his ear for music has been crazy, especially during his heyday. His ear for music is crazy. He might not be doing this thing like he used to do back in the 2000s, but he's still a very musically inclined person. He's very talented. He can sing his ass off with or without autotune. So, my thing is, Usher, this man brought in a whole new genre of music in terms of the auto-tune vibe to music in the 2000s that might definitely shifted music in an interesting way. I wouldn't say T-Pain ruined music, but he overlooked the possibilities of what music could be back at that time. You know what I'm saying? And obviously it works because everybody was up on his wave after he came out. Everybody in my was trying to sound like T-Pain or wanted T-Pain on their record. So Usher, just because you were in a time of decline commercially, there was no reason for you to have, throwing shade at your friend like that. And he said, him and T-Pain are cool. They already had a conversation about it, but T-Pain said that was the start of a 4-year depression for him. And I was just like, damn, that's just crazy. So, it's just a good reminder that you always need to put things into perspective. Sometimes you gotta take your head out of your own ass and, sometimes take yourself out of your own perspective and be open to other people's perspectives, because I don't think most people would agree with Usher. Usher, if that's how you felt, cool. But there was no reason to wake that man out of his sleep and to go in on him like that, because there's way more people I could point to, especially when I think about rappers, way more people I could point to in terms of me thinking that they ruin music before I point to T-Pain. You know what I'm saying? T-Pain definitely, he helped the auto-tune wave come through and really take over. But at the end of the day, I don't think that was necessarily a bad thing for music. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a little fucked up. But yeah, so that happened. And then I also want to talk about what's the last time I talked about T-Pain? Oh yeah, and then I haven't watched it yet, but I saw a clip of him going on this rant about artists not being original these days and everybody doing the same thing and everybody being the same wave. And bro, T-Pain, I agree, bro. Yeah, I mix it up. Now it looks a little crazy, but it's still gonna be busting on. Now it looks a little crazy, but yo, bear with me. Yeah, so I low-key agree with T-Pain. There's a lot of artists right now who are just on the same vibe. I think especially when it comes to hip-hop. R&B, not so much, but definitely hip-hop. I'm really personally frustrated by the times living in right now, in terms of us being in a time where everybody, I feel like not everybody, but most people are on the same vibe sonically. A lot of people are on the same wave with the way they arrange their songs. We're in a time right now where I think hip-hop is, especially, there's just so many people who are copying each other's vibes and flows and cadences and arrangements, and it's getting frustrating. So I fully was here for T-Pain's rant. I fully agreed with him. I understand his frustration, and I really am employing, I'm nobody, but I'm employing especially a lot of our younger hip-hop artists to really start forming their own lanes, start trusting their own instincts, and really start coming up with original ideas. We already, like you said, we already have a DaBaby, we already have a Lil Baby, we already have a Lil Uzi, stop copying these guys and come up with your own flow, your own vibe. We already have a Travis Scott. We don't need, you know, juniors of these people. Like, we already have them. Come up with your own vibe, your own sound. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard task, but if you're in music, that's what you should be dedicated to doing, is to creating your own vibe, your own sound, your own lane. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to T-Pain for this, his resurgence in media lately. His resurgence back in the game. I'm happy that he's getting so much love from people. T-Pain's a legend, man. I love that man. He's an icon, definitely a game changer, and I'm glad he's getting a bunch of love again. Shout out to T-Pain. Just want to mention real quickly. Shout out T-Pain. All right, next topic. Let's talk about Sha'carri Richardson. Sha'carri Richardson, man. It's unfortunate what happened to Sha'carri Richardson, but at the end of the day, I love the fact that she took accountability for her actions. You know, in terms of ingesting, you know, marijuana. She knew she wasn't supposed to do it, but she took accountability, and that's that. Oh, this is good. Wow. Good, yeah. But oh, this is good. And at the end of the day, she's gonna be back. She's gonna be back. The next Olympics, she's gonna be back and strong. And I really hate how people were acting like just because she made a mistake or whatever, that like, I don't know. I hate how people were making it seem as if she was making it seem like it was a racial thing, or like she was victimizing herself. She wasn't. She took accountability for the fact that she shouldn't have, you know, ingested weed, and that's that. And I think the rule was stupid. I didn't know athletes couldn't ingest marijuana. I didn't know. I know they have things, you know, things with steroids or whatever other chemicals. That's fine, but I don't know the Olympic Committee had a thing against marijuana. It doesn't make sense to me because I feel like marijuana doesn't have an effect on your athletic ability. It might make you, like, you know, you might be high as shit in practice, or you might want some food, or you might be a little groggy if you decide to smoke some weed, you know, before or after practice. But like, in terms of that affecting your athletic ability, I don't see how that correlates. So that's just me personally, but it is what it is. The rules are the rules. But I really was annoyed by how a lot of people were acting like Sha'carri wasn't taking accountability for what she did, but she definitely was. But I think it's unfortunate that she had to miss out this year. But at the same time, I wasn't really tuned into the Olympics like that. I wasn't really tuned in. I don't think a lot of people were either. Not because I didn't want to be, not because of Sha'carri, I just wasn't tuned in. Like, I've had a lot of stuff to do with it, and I feel like the Olympics this year were just really weird. There was no audiences because everything was, you know, COVID was going crazy at the Olympics. Like, mad people got infected. There was no audiences. I just feel like it wasn't like a hype Olympics like usually was. So, you know, everything around the world now is just weird because of COVID. So, but so Sha'carri, we stand with you. We love you. I'm looking forward to seeing you come into your own in these next few years as you prepare for the 2024 Olympics, which I can't wait to see you at. So that's gonna be amazing. Y'all seen her in the fucking like Beats and Kanye commercials? Shout out to Sha'carri. She's already getting it back already. I love to see it. And speaking of the Olympics, Simone Biles. Y'all gotta chill, man. Y'all gotta chill. The way y'all do black women, black people, especially black women in sports, the way y'all do black women is crazy. Y'all didn't give Naomi Osaka rest. Y'all didn't give Serena Williams rest. Y'all didn't give Sha'carri Richardson rest. And now y'all not giving Simone Biles rest because she decided that she wanted to prioritize her health and her mental and, you know, her body and her career over giving y'all a show and giving America a medal. And at the end of the day, the crazy thing is she still walked with a bronze medal in the individual competition that she competed in after she decided to come back. But when she first claimed that she wanted to step away and not compete because she wasn't feeling like she was at her best, I felt that. For the idiots out there who don't know anything about, you know, gymnastics, like, one wrong move and that's your neck, that's gone, that's paralysis, that's like something in your body that's fucked up forever if you make one wrong move. So she wasn't in the right headspace to compete. I don't blame her for saying, you know, I'm gonna step away, not compete because I'm not feeling it, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to go. She's already collected mad medals in the past. She'll collect more in the future. And on top of that, after the news came out that she wanted to step away from the competition because of her mental health, we found out that her aunt or something died. It's like someone in her family had died. And see, y'all always make all these assumptions like, oh, she's a quitter. Oh, she choking. It's like, bro, y'all don't know nothing about people's lives, bro. Y'all think y'all know everything about people's lives and y'all don't. Before she told us that someone in her family died, y'all didn't know that. Y'all were just thinking she was just quitting, she was choking. But it's like, bro, we've all had those days where we had to step up to the plate for like a competition or for something we had to do, and we weren't feeling it. And sometimes that just happens, and it's okay. You gotta respect that. Like, we all need to respect each other's mental health. we all need to respect each other's boundaries and each other's needs. You know what I'm saying? We have to get our humanity back in check, man. It's ridiculous at this point. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't care about Simone representing U.S. and her getting a, and her getting us a medal over the health of her body and the health of her mind. Like, if she's not 100%, she can't go, or she, like, slipped up and made one wrong move. If she competed, her career is done, and then we're not gonna see her ever again. So, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all gotta stop judging people. Y'all gotta stop making assumptions about people, and y'all gotta let people live their lives and let people prioritize their damn mental health. It's 2021, man. We gotta stop this bullshit. Come on, man. All right. Next, we're gonna talk about R. Kelly. R. Kelly has a whole bunch of new charges on his name related to the sexual assault, alleged sexual assault of minors. I'm not sure when the time period was. I think it was sometime in the 2000s. New charges related to the sexual assault of boys. And for me, I'm not surprised, but I think I did hear about his attraction to men, potentially, allegedly, in the surviving R. Kelly documentary. I think his brother talked about it, or somebody talked about it, or his manager, I think. Someone talked about the fact that he actually was into men as well. So I wasn't surprised by it, but I was just like, damn, like, R. Kelly really has been out here. It's insane. And it's also insane that a lot of people in the black community didn't care. Twitter was going crazy when it first happened. It's a shame because y'all didn't care when he was abusing all these girls out here. Y'all didn't care. But as soon as it's some little boys, that's when black people were like, oh, he's a monster. He's nasty. How dare he? Let's lock him up. Oh, now I see that he's a pedophile. Now I see it. Now I see that he's a gross man. Now I see that he's an evil man. Now I see it. When he was allegedly locking up and abusing, all and like brainwashing all these girls and young women out here, y'all don't care. It's a damn shame. I know he's a legend. I still think of him as a legend. I'm never gonna take away what he did in music, because I know, someone who's a music person, I'm never gonna take away what that man did in music. I'm never gonna do that. But you have to acknowledge the man himself behind the music, and you have to acknowledge his wayward ways. It's a shame that while the time was right, we never ever got help for R. Kelly, and that we never ever, as a community, addressed his perverted nature, and and really put it in check back in the 2000s when it was, in the 90s when it was first happening. The people around him, you guys all failed him. The people around these girls, not all y'all, but most y'all failed them. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad how everybody failed each other in this saga of R. Kelly. A lot of people failed each other. A lot of people failed the victims. And a lot of people failed R. Kelly who were around him. A lot of people failed him and kept up his charades because he was supporting their livelihood. But that's the name of the game in the entertainment industry. It's a lot of evil in the entertainment industry, and a lot of people will stay silent and look the other way as long as they're getting paid. It's sad, but it's the name of the game. This bowl is good, y'all. This chicken is good. The potatoes, sweet potatoes are good. The apples are good. The coleslaw and cabbage is straight. The quinoa is fulfilling. Everything is just coming together in this plate. I love it. I was saying, this shit messy, but it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm R. Kelly. Thank you for what you did for music, but you can go to hell. And speaking of R. Kelly, let's talk about Aaliyah and pretty much all of Blackground Records catalog coming to streaming services and digital, music buying platforms. Really big moment for music, in my opinion. Really big moment. And Barry Hankerson, Aaliyah's uncle, is the owner, and he was the head and the owner of Blackgroud Records, who housed albums from back in the 2000s and 90s, albums from Tank, Aaliyah, Tank, Static, Tony Braxton's Libra album, JoJo's first two albums, which I love both of his albums today. I love Tony Braxton's Libra album as well. All of Aaliyah's albums were on Blackground. Enough said. So Blackground has had some really important records in their catalog that have not been available for purchase or streaming for years now, years and years and years. But now, Blackground, I'm not sure if it was Barry by himself or Barry with other people, but Blackground and Barry, in conjunction with Empire Records as the distributor, is now planning to have all of Aaliyah's music and the rest of Blackground music's. Oh, and also Timbaland and Magoo are on Blackground as well with their first few albums. Shout out to Timbaland and Magoo. All those albums are not going to be coming to streaming platforms slowly over the next few months, starting with Aaliyah's music first and then everything else after that. So I'm torn on this news. I'm happy because I'm so happy that, you know, albums from JoJo and Toni Braxton and Tank and Aaliyah and Timbaland and Magoo, I'm so happy that they're all going to be available to the world now for fans and even new fans to engage with it and consume. I'm so happy about that, especially for Toni Braxton's Libra album, Aaliyah and JoJo, and shout out to Tank too. But especially Aaliyah and JoJo, because Toni Braxton's music has been available besides that one album, but Aaliyah's entire catalog besides her first album has been gone forever. JoJo's first 2 albums have never seen the light of day on streaming services for years now, so I'm glad that fans will finally get a chance to be able to listen to them and enjoy them. Like, not for people like me who grew up on them, but for the kids who don't know about Aaliyah and JoJo and early Toni Braxton and early Tank. Like, for those kids who don't know about that music from that time period, I'm glad that they can now go and investigate and listen for themselves. I love that part, right? But I hate the fact that this is being done without the blessing of Aaliyah's estate. I'm not really sure what's going on with Aaliyah's estate and her mother and her brother and her family, and why they've like not, you know, done what they can to like let her music be on streaming services all this time. I'm not really sure what the drama and the beef is behind it. I don't know the details. I know there's been a lot of issues between them and Barry. I know because Barry's in control of her catalog, at least access to it, where I think, you know, her family's estate is in charge of like everything else. I think that's the breakdown of it. So I don't think Aaliyah's estate has any control of the music being released to streaming platforms, but I think they didn't want it to happen. I'm not really sure why. Apparently, allegedly, Aaliyah's mom like doesn't want her to keep hearing her daughter's voice everywhere. That's a part of it. That's what Barry said. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's the whole truth, but whatever it is, it's just sad that family has not been able to like really come to a resolution all these years. We need a resolution. They've not been able to come to a resolution all these years, and because of that, Aaliyah's music has been dead in the water for damn near like decades now. It's like going on 2 decades. Her music has been dead in the water. There's still, you know, physical copies out in the world that you can buy on like eBay and, you know, Discogs and stuff like that. There's physical copies out in the world, you know, in a rare way, but in terms of like, you know, worldwide global access to, you know, her music, that's been gone for a minute. So I'm glad it's happening, because now Aaliyah's music can live on, and JoJo's music can live on. Those first 2 albums, and you know, and Tank's first 2 albums, you know, Toni Braxton's Libra album, they can live on now. But at the same time, it's messed up that a lot of those profits will most likely go to not only just Empire, but also to Barry Hankinson's pockets, which I don't like, because if you don't think about Barry Hankinson, he's not a good man. He has really done a lot to really, you know, fuck up the careers of Aaliyah and JoJo and Toni Braxton. Like, he's done his part to really fuck up the careers of a lot of people. Tank, Static, people who are involved in the Blackgroud Records label. A lot of their careers have really suffered completely, or suffered at a certain time because of when they were on that label. And that's in part due to Barry Hankinson's leadership and his management, and to the way he ran that label, with a lot of, you know, issues with like, you know, trying to pair up with like other bigger labels and stuff like that. It was a whole lot of drama back in the day. So, you know, that affected JoJo's career heavily. JoJo wasn't able to release music for years because of that shit. It affected Toni Braxton's Libra album rollout. It affected Tank's early albums. It affected Aaliyah's music not being out in the world for years now. So I'm glad it's kind of being resolved in a way, but it's also sad that it's not being resolved in a way where everyone can be happy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the sad part. So I'm torn on how I feel. I'm torn, but let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. Yeah, so from August to like October, we'll be getting albums like every week in the order that they were released on the label. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. So, but I'm looking forward to everything coming on streaming services. Let me know if y'all looking forward to it. If y'all like disappointed and are not going to support it, let me know what y'all think about that. All right, next topic. Versus. So the versus battles that have been happening. Yo. Shout out to the VERZUZ battles that have been happening. I think the last one I did a video for was SWE and Escape. That was a great battle. I've not done any other reviews since then, but I've loved all of them. So that was good. First up, Eve and Trina. That was great. Shout out to Eve and shout out to Trina. That was a great battle. I didn't know that battle would be as good as I thought it would be. Like, they all brought out a lot of hidden gems I forgot about. They both looked amazing. They both looked beautiful, and the energy was great. Even with Eve being all the way in London, it didn't feel dry at all. It felt amazing. They timed it perfectly. It didn't feel too long. It didn't drag out. The energy was great throughout the whole battle. That was so shout out to Eve and Trina. That was amazing. I loved it. Eve obviously won for me, but because I love Eve's music more. But shout out to Trina. Trina did her thing. She shut it down. Trina represented from Miami. She did her thing, and her energy was popping. Shout out to Trina. She did a great job as well. Next one was Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown. I'm sorry I didn't make a video for this, y'all, but I got busy and I let it go right away. So, but shout out to Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat. This one was hard for me. Honestly, I was torn. I think I had like 11 Bobby and 9 Keith, or maybe like 11 Keith and Bobby 9. I can't remember. Maybe like 10-10. But it was damn near split down the middle for me when it came to the Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat versus. I can't remember. I think I had Keith or Bobby winning by 1. I can't remember who it was, but that's not by a lot. So yeah, that was a great battle. I think to me, I think Bobby Brown was killing the first half of the battle, and Keith Sweat was killing the second half of the battle. The second half of the battle, Keith Sweat came through and killed it. Especially after he chained it to his little, native dashiki clothing. Oluwaki Sweats. Oh, yo, Keith was, they were both drunk. And you talk about how Bobby was out of breath and drained and tired the whole time. I was weak. Bobby was over it. Bobby wanted to go home. He was tired. But listen, at the end of that was so amazing, because imagine being someone like Bobby Brown. You've lost so many people in your life. He's had strokes. He's had crack and drinking problems, all types of stuff. And he still came on the stage and did his thing. Even though he was tired, he was over it. Like, he still came through and tried to get as much energy as he could. So I love that. Shout out to Bobby Brown. He did his thing. And Keith Sweat, he was in shape. He was killing it. He came with the joke, came with the banter. It was a good battle, man. I loved it. So shout out to the OGs in the game, OGs in R&B, both legendary men in R&B. They both killed it and they came through, did their thing. I loved it. Shout out to Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat. That was a great battle as well. And then the Locks and Dipset. Can we talk about it? The Locks and Dipset. I'm not a big hip hop head like that. Especially like old, like new school, yeah, I got it. But like old school, I'm not like on it like that. But what a battle, man. I honestly thought I wasn't really sure who I had going in, because I felt like there was a good chance for either of them to like really take it. But I'm not surprised the Locks came through and shut it down. Especially MVP Jadakiss. Shout out to Sheik, shout out to Styles P. But Jadakiss came through and shut that thing down. I remember watching, like, I was like, oh my god, Jadakiss is like, he's like performing like he's never performed before. Like, he's showing why he is one of the best in the game, like low key, when it comes to performance ability, charisma, talent, catalog. Like, Jadakiss is not playing with y'all. He came through and did his motherfucking thing. Shout out to Jadakiss, shout out to the Locks. They were prepared. I love how they came ready to go. They were prepared. They came with the energy. They were a unit compared to Dipset, who just came through like all willingly, like they didn't know what they were doing. They weren't ready. They weren't organized. They didn't have the hype like that. They just weren't. It looked like they just weren't a unit. Like they weren't a group like the Locks were, and it showed. You know what I'm saying? It definitely showed. I'm so proud of Locks. Shout out to y'all for killing it. That battle was one for the ages. One of the best hip hop battles we've ever seen. Like, the crowd scared me a little bit. All I could see was COVID in the air when I saw that crowd. But besides that, the battle was lit. I loved the moment. I love what it was for hip hop history. It was just so dope to see people like Fat Joe in the audience, like just them engage with the audience. Like the DJ was killing it in the beginning. I forgot his name. I think DJ Technics, but he was killing it in the beginning. Oh my god, that DJ, I think it was Locks' DJ. He killed that shit. And Locks came through and shut shit down, man. That was such an amazing thing to see. To see that unity, to see that timeless classic energy, the elder statesman energy, just showing people how to really do it, you know what I'm saying? At the breath control, the catalog, the energy, the shit talking, it was so amazing. And the Dipset came through, did the thing as well. Shout out Jules, shout out Cameron, shout out everybody. Shout out Jim Jones, but it just wasn't the same, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a great battle. I think it was great. I loved it. So let me know what y'all thought about the Locks and Dipset battle. Obviously the Locks won, but let me know what y'all thought about down below. Alright, y'all, I'm back. I took a little break to my camera died, so I switched my battery, and I also got my green tea in the freezer. It's cold now. It's so good. All right, so let me talk about some shows I'm watching real quick. Let me talk about movies first. So movies I've watched recently. I thought off the top of my head, I watched the Suicide Squad. I found it online. Really, I don't know. For me, that movie was like, it was a joke the whole way through. But like, it was kind of like so much of a joke that I enjoyed it, you know. But it was weird. Like, some parts I was like, yo, is this really happening? Like, I don't know, just like the starfish thing, and then the, you know, Bloodshot being afraid of rats, and just so much stuff. I was like, this is stupid as hell. But it was a vibe. Like, it was funny. So I enjoyed the Suicide Squad. It was random as hell, but I enjoyed the you know, the jokeness of it. It was cool. What else have I watched? I watched Resort to Love on Netflix. That was cool. It was alright. It was cool. Oh yeah, in terms of movies, I also watched The Summer of Soul recently. I should have been watching it because it came out like early July, but I just watched it recently on Hulu. Directed by Questlove. The Summer of Soul was one of my favorite things I think I've ever seen in my life in terms of just what it meant for me and like what it showed me in terms of like, you know, black music and black history. Like, it's so amazing. It was a documentary that Questlove directed that highlighted and chronicled the Cultural Music Festival of 1969 that happened somewhere in like a part of Harlem. It was happening throughout the whole summer of '69 for like 6 weeks. Beautiful to see people like, you know, not Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Fifth Dimension. So many art. Nina Simone, Dave Ruffin when he left the Temptations. So many people that were instrumental to music at that time and still instrumental to music like up until now, who were like beginning their careers at that time. Like, it was just beautiful to see, you know, hundreds and thousands of people gathered like every week, every Sunday at this park in Harlem during that summer to come and see all these artists perform and do their thing. Such a beautiful documentary in terms of what it highlighted about what was going on, you know, around the country at that time, in terms of, you know, the political vibe of the country around that time, the musical energy of the country around that time. It was just such a cool watch. I loved it. It was emotional. It was insightful. It was beautiful. I loved it. So Questlove, I hope you get some Oscar and Grammy love coming up with that movie. You deserve it. Amazing. Hope he gets some, you know, like I said, he better get an Oscar nomination for the movie. I also love to see him get nominated for Best Music Film at the Grammys. That film was amazing. Oh my God. If you're not seeing it on Hulu, go watch it. Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution was not televised. I think that's like the subheading of it. So good. Go watch it on Hulu. It's so amazing. So definitely go watch that. But in terms of shows I'm watching, let me get back into this meal. This is Pop. I'm also watching, let's see, on Netflix. What else I'm watching? I watched Too Hot to Handle a few weeks ago. I love that show. You know, I love Too Hot to Handle. That's a funny ass show on Netflix. Let's see. I've been watching Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef. I love my cooking shows. I'm watching those as well. I recently went on a binge of watching College Hill on Hulu as well. Yo, I was a big watcher of College Hill back in the day. So with my homies, I watched the Virgin Island season with them. But by myself, I watched the Atlanta and the South Beach season. Memories. College Hill, memories of my childhood. All the stupid drama that they had, I live for it. See, I'm watching College Hill. I've been binging that on Hulu for like the past few weeks, getting my life, watching that shit. Like, reliving all those memories of all the stupid drama, all the fights, all the funny shit. I loved it. So, a hidden gem on Hulu, College Hill. And I'm gonna get into Baldwin Hills next. I can't wait to get into that. What else have I been watching? I'm about to start watching The Challenge. I just saw the new season of The Challenge. Y'all know I love The Challenge. I can't wait to get into the season. I'm so excited. This season looks good. Shout out to The Challenge. I cannot wait to get into the season. It looks so good. Spies, Lies, and Allies. I can't wait. I'm watching Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Listen, y'all are all sleeping on Power after it ended. I know y'all wasn't into. I don't care. Ghost is dead. Tarika's annoying. Major Blige can't act. All that stuff. Fuck all that. Power Book 2, Ghost was dope. I loved it. And Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, even better. I love it. I love the dude who's the little Kanan. I love him. I love the mom, Raquel. I don't know what her name is, but she is gorgeous and she's just so magnetic. I don't know what it is about her. Like, she's just so magnetic on screen. I don't know. Like, I love her. She's a queen. Shout out to Raquel. Shout out to his whole family. Shout out to Junebug. And you know her loving that little white girl. Okay, come on, some little lesbo love. Okay, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? But listen, Raising Game, such a good show. Such a good show. Y'all gotta stop sleeping on these power follow-ups because they're just as good, if not better, but they're just as good. Y'all gotta stop sleeping on them. They're great. I'm watching David Makes Man on the OWN network. I love that. Such a gem of a show. I love that show. David is going through it this season. Oh my God. Can we talk about it? He's going through it this season. I feel bad for his therapist. His therapist is over it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also watching BET Presents the Encore. Oh my God. I didn't know I would love the show as much as I do. I didn't think I would love it as much as I do. BET Presents the Encore is a show. It's a musical experiment where they take a bunch of women from parts of 90s and 2000s girl groups and have them try and come together to form a super girl group. A super group. Man, when I tell you cat fights, petty drama, not only just with them, with other people, the choreographer, co-signer, producer, they got a vocal coach Simone that helps them out. And they got DaBaby, I don't know who she is, but she's some media person that is their virtual leader that helps them coordinate what they gotta do for their final performance and stuff like that. So the season finale was last night. I watched it. It was really good. I was surprised by how well they came together in the end to put on the performance. It was really good. And the camera was moving hella fast, but it was really cool to watch them have their final performance. I thought they killed it. Even though they had so much issue with the choreography, their clothing, their placements, they had issues with people leaving. I first started with 9 women. They had the girls from 702, the sisters from 702, the twins from Cherish, Felicia and Fallon, Irish and Lamisha from 702. They had Sha'carri from Black, one of my faves. I love Sha'carri so much. One of my faves. I love her. They had Aubrey from Danny Kane. Mess. We love Aubrey, but Mess. They had Pam from Total, not showing her godly vibe, and was giving homophobia vibes in the beginning. I ain't gonna talk about that. Who else was there? And they had Nivea by herself. Soloist Nivea. Well, I feel like somebody else was there. Who else was there? And Keely from 3LW and Cheetah Girls. Yeah, man. And they had Nivea, who I love so much. Nivea, I love you. We all love you. If you watch that show, you know that Nivea is a vibe. Nivea is me. They all fighting. Nivea's in the corner where the snacks at? Cause I ain't got time to fight with y'all. Nivea in the corner all right, but can we go record? What's up? Can we work? Nivea was there to work and to eat, and I feel her. That's me. I'm here to work and eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for the drama. I'm not here for the bullshit. I'm here to eat and chill and get to work. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Nivea, I love you. We all love you. And y'all gotta go check out her interview that she did with what's her name? With Candy on Candy's YouTube channel. She had this hour plus interview with Candy that was so amazing, where she just talks about her life, the things she's been through. I almost cried at one point. Nivea has a life story. If you've not seen that video, go watch it. That interview was amazing. Nivea has a story that can inspire anybody, and it's such a beautiful story. She's been through a lot of shit, and she's still so bubbly and happy, and it's so inspiring, man. I love Nivea. I love her to pieces. I love Nivea. And so yeah, Nivea left. I feel her though, because she was over. At some point, Nivea was so fed up with the drama that she left. I completely felt her. But before her, Aubrey left the house and wasn't dealing with it. And then after some point, because they were fighting so much with the twins, the sisters from 702, Lamisha and Irish, they left the house because they were over it. So by the final episode, all we had was the Cherish twins, Sha'carri, Keely, and then Pam. That's all we had left. And apparently Pam is not in the group anymore officially because she wanted to go pursue gospel music, which is not surprising at all. Shout out Pam, but Pam honestly didn't fit the vibe of the group anyway, so I'm not mad at it. So now the final group, which is called Blueprint, is officially Felicia and Fallon from Cherish and Sha'carri and Keely. And honestly, if you look at that final performance, they got something. I'm not mad at it. The EP was okay. They put out an official EP called Blueprint as their first project. That shit is it's cool. The Bird's Eye View is cool. I gotta get into it more, but it's cool. The other tracks on the EP I were alright, but the tracks I love are the ones at the end. I love Skeletons and I love Talking. Skeletons and Talking are great songs. I like those songs. But every other song on the EP is okay. But yo, the final performance they had in that final episode, man. Those four, the Cherish Twins and Sha'carri and Keely, they got something low key. That's actually a cool combo. They got something low key. They got something. I like what they got. They got something. It actually could be something. Like, it's actually a really good combination, and they all look good together. So I actually like that. I'm looking out for them. I don't know if it'll be an official thing going forward, but I liked how it ended in terms of them being like the unit that came out strong and came out at the end. But man, the point that they got to with all the drama and all the fighting, and it was so funny and so entertaining. And just, it was really funny to just watch that the journey to that point. So I would definitely recommend watching it. If you're not watched it already, go watch it, go binge it. The BT Presents Encore, that show is gold. Reality TV show gold. I loved it. Shout out Carlos King for the brilliant idea for producing that show. So entertaining, so good. So definitely go watch that if you haven't already. I've also been watching The Chi as well. The Chi. It just ended last week, but I was watching that I was watching that for the past 2 weeks since it premiered this summer. Love that show. This season was great. I love this season. It was really a great season. I'm really glad, because I feel like a lot of people didn't really like last season. I thought last season was cool, so I'm glad they got together with this season. I feel like it was really good how they really evolved all the characters, like, you know, Emmett's character. So many characters. I feel like, and I loved Emmett and Tippett's evolution. Emmett and Tiffany's evolution was great. I love the evolution of, like, you know, of the kids. I love all the stuff that they went through with, like, you know, them like dating within each. Like, I love how they figure out all the relationship stuff within the kids. I love that. Nina and Dre went through that shit. I still don't know how that's gonna end up. Keisha's story with the baby and her new boyfriend was so beautiful. I love how they did that. What was Emmett's mom's name again? I can't think about her name. Fuck. I can't think about it right now, but Emmett's mom name and her having cancer and everybody coming together to support her was beautiful as well. I just love this season, man. I love this season. It was a good season. So definitely go watch The Chi if you're not already. One of my favorite shows on TV. I love The Chi. Every time it comes on, I'll be hyped as hell. I love The Chi. Oh yeah, everything with Duda and Jake older brother. I forgot his name, but Jake older brother and Duda, and then the other like mayor dude. Good season, man. Good season. Man. Yes, I love The Chi. What else? That's all I'm watching recently, I think.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta worry, you can just